Hello, my name is Kevin Beaver. I'm an independent information security consultant with Atlanta-based Principal Logic. In over 3 decades working in the industry, I've seen the progression of threats and how they're exploiting business weaknesses. Given our dependence on computer systems to carry out so many business functions combined with the reality that so many organizations are behind the curve in terms of security, things are getting more and more complicated. With that, I want to talk about how criminals use phishing for wire transfers that can quickly drain business bank accounts. The sophistication of phishing attacks is growing every day. A challenge among these types of security exploits involves wire transfer fraud. These emails can come in the form of generic or even very specific requests. They could have links for the victims to click on. They might even request login credentials. And the interesting thing about it, even the savviest of users can get caught off guard. Regardless of the specific method, it's simply a matter of the criminals piecing together an email that's convincing enough to get buy-in. These criminals will spend weeks, months, or even longer getting to know your employees and your business. They'll figure out who does what, where they're traveling, and even their writing styles, and then use that information to build out a targeted phishing message in an attempt to trick the victim into wiring money. There are many ways that these fraudsters go about their attacks. Perhaps the most common one is when they send an email to the CFO or other person in charge of accounts payable that appears to originate from the CEO or president of the company, requesting a wire transfer. And once the CFO or whomever falls for it and the transfer takes place, that's it. If they don't act quickly and get the authorities involved within a matter of hours, that money is gone forever. These fraudulent attacks, sometimes referred to as business email compromises, are creating a lot of problems for a lot of businesses and even wealthy individuals. These problems are mostly financial in nature. The FBI received reports of nearly $1.8 billion in losses from wire transfer fraud in 2019 alone, and that's up $500 million compared to 2018. And really a total of $26 billion since 2016. And it's happening both on a business level as well as a personal level, and often hundreds of thousands of dollars or more are being lost in each of these incidents. For example, a parts supplier for Toyota lost $37 million. Nikkei lost $29 million. You may have heard about Barbara Corcoran from Shark Tank. She lost $400,000 recently, but fortunately she was able to get it back because she acted quickly enough. There's also the story of Frank Krasavek, who is the chairman of the company that owns Domino's Pizza. He lost $450,000 out of a new credit line that he had recently opened. So what's at the root of this challenge other than the criminal behavior itself? It's people. In the case of phishing and business email compromise, your employees are your weak link. You can have all the technical controls in the world, and nothing is going to prevent a fraudulent or inadvertent wire transfer from taking place. Of course, your employees are going to make mistakes that create business risk as part of running a business. This is why it's so important to set your employees up for success. You do this through ongoing education and awareness, properly setting everyone's expectations on what to look out for, as well as what to do and not do on their computer systems, both in the office and when they're working from home and other remote locations. Your employees are often your first and last line of defense. It pays to have them on your side working toward the same goals. So what can you do? Well, here's a simple action item for you. Acknowledge the risk. That's it. You've heard the saying that proper diagnosis is half the cure. That certainly applies to this situation. You have to understand that email-based wire transfer fraud exists and that it's a tangible risk to your organization regardless of how big your business is or the industry in which it operates. Wire fraud brought about by phishing is happening all around the world, and it's happening all the time. Once you and any other stakeholders in your organization realize that your business is a target, you'll have taken the first and most important step towards minimizing the risk and any resulting impact it might have. Now that this issue is on your radar, you can start taking the necessary steps to build out your business resilience with the proper controls and processes so that you don't get duped and unknowingly become a part of the problem. If you're unsure about the extent of your organization's susceptibility to this type of fraud, you can run a phishing test. A quick way to do that is to go to hightowerrisk.com and click the free phish test button at the top of the homepage to get started. Fraud involving wire transfers is real. Phishing facilitates this risk. The important question is, what are you doing about it? It's a numbers game that the criminals are playing with your business, whether you're actively participating or not. It's simply a matter of time before the bad guys attempt to and potentially succeed at conning your employees and exploiting your business processes for ill-gotten financial gains. Acknowledge this threat along with your business vulnerabilities and resulting risks. Start making forward progress today. Adjust your security controls, educate your users, and flesh out your security policies as well as your incident response plan, and then adjust your wire transfer procedures accordingly. These things are the secret to keeping wire transfer fraud from having a negative impact on your business. If you'd like more details on how to flesh out your security program in order to prevent things such as business email compromise and wire fraud, check out my website at principallogic.com. Thank you.